Hi, I'm Zoe Emma, and I want to share with you some tips to help you manage the change that's going to come with embedding AI and using AI more across a large charity. Now, all of these come from the work that we've been recently doing on the Charity AI Leadership Accelerator program in partnership with Microsoft. And I think this is in many ways one of the most challenging aspects of bringing AI into your organisation. AI is a change program as much as it is a new way of using technology and working differently. And there are some tried and tested techniques which we know work, which come from large charity leaders who've been on the program, that I want to share with you here today. So there are 6 key things I would recommend as part of your change leadership toolkit. And they are all things which you're probably beginning to think about already. Now, what you'll find in any large organisation is that everyone is going to be at slightly different stages with AI adoption. We talked in the first video in this series for large charities about how you'll probably want to do a bit of an audit of your skills, your capabilities, where people are currently at, what you can learn from competitors. And one of your takeaways from that might be that all of your staff are at these different starting points. So firstly, I would provide some reassurance to staff that all of those different perspectives are valid. It's very normal for different teams, different individuals to be at different stages. And some of the groups that we see people naturally falling into are the people who are enthusiastic and they're already using AI. They might be doing it in quite an advanced way and they are itching to do more. Then equally, you will find people who are really worried and they want to keep things as they are. They might be worried about what's going to happen with their jobs. They might be worried about what it means for them. And they might need quite a lot of reassurance on that. And you might find people who are really quite opposed to AI and they've got some real challenging questions for you about whether you should be using it or not. So think about those different groups and which group some of those different staff members and different teams might fall into. A really good thing to learn from is how staff have responded to change previously. So that might give you a bit of an idea of what they're going to do as you introduce AI further. The second technique that I would recommend, because we know this has worked well previously in other areas of digital transformation, is to look at where you can build champions in different levels. So as you start to open up your organisation more to using AI, you've got a sense of those skills, you will find that there's some people who naturally come forward who are enthusiastic or they want to do more or they're getting really confident about it. And they might be at junior levels, manager levels, maybe even senior level. Understand who those people are and maybe give them some kind of role. Maybe they're going to be a particular champion in a particular area of using AI for content creation or writing funding bids, for example. The more you can make them visible, the more you're sending out that signal to your organisations that they're people who are doing great things and that everyone can learn from, and start to get them to share their knowledge around the organisation, maybe by doing some show and tells or creating some really simple short learning videos. Third thing that I would highly recommend is that as staff potentially start to feel a bit worried, they ask you what's going to happen to their jobs, is to connect their use of AI to the sense of purpose and connection they feel to their role. So for example, I was talking to a charity fundraiser the other day who said, I really love using AI because it's saving me time and it means that I can then get out face to face more to talk to our donors and find out those things that begin to inspire our next campaign or other ways in which we can look after the people who are donating to us. So the more you can really personalise that reassurance to staff, show them stories of how it's already helping staff members begin to save some time and spend more time doing the things that they love to do, which they're really good at, which are real strengths for them, that will be really, really reassuring. The other thing that I would recommend is creating some safe spaces for experimentation. as we were saying earlier, that could be some lunch and learn sessions, that could be getting staff who are really good at this to create some resources, to find some time perhaps in regular team meetings for people to report back on how they're using AI. The more you can create a little bit of space in those areas where staff are naturally coming together, to work together, to collaborate, and to normalise that conversation around we're trying this out, this is what we're learning, then that will give that permission to staff to try new things. It will help them upskill, and it will also build the confidence as well. The other thing that I'd recommend is to align what you're doing in AI with your EDI work, and that feels really important. So I've spoken to other charities of all different sizes who have worked quite closely with staff to understand where they might, where they're representing different marginalised communities where AI might be able to help them. For example, where English might be their second language, or if they're neurodivergent, how these tools might be able to help them in their roles. So the more you can develop your use of AI in line with your EDI, that will really make a difference. And then finally, remember that this is a conversation that you will need to keep going. You'll need to reinforce the change, get staff comfortable with the change, and play back to them how they are changing, and really celebrate those wins and what you're learning along the way. So if you've found this useful, please do watch the other videos in this series, and please do make sure that you sign up for more resources and more support for charity leaders in AI by following the link at the end of this video.